wanted to be remembered as the budget. That I made the smallest budget film in the history of Bollywood, and it should come down in the Guinness Book of Records. Hi, this is Rajiv Rai, and you're watching me on Cineblues.
Hi, this is Awan Padhi, and today the personality, the filmmaker that we have on our show, needs no introduction. He carries a legendary legacy of blockbusters in his entire career that spanned more than 2 decades. A legendary production banner which housed many blockbusters in the name of Johnny Mera Naam, Joshila, Diva, Trishul, Vidata. So he is none other than Rajiv Rai, sorry, and he's the master Maverick filmmaker who enticed the entire breed of cinephiles with his films like Yudh, Tridev, Vishwatma, Mohra, Gupt, Pyar Ishq aur Mohabbat. And he's coming back after a span of 21 years. He last made Asambhav. Sir, you definitely don't know introduction and you don't know how happy I am to host you here. So, I don't know, I can't express you my feelings, but I want to know more about your feelings about you coming back with Zora after a gap of 21 years. Last you met Asambhav with Arjun Rampal.
Yeah. No, I was traveling, as everybody knows. I've given a few interviews, so people know I didn't live in India for some time. I was in and out.
Right.
And then in 2004, after Sambhav, I actually had taken self retirement.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not motivated to work.
Okay.
In 2004, I lost my father. 2001, I had lost my mother. And then I was very saddened because I was very close to both my parents. And after that, it just kind of felt there was a void in my life.
Mm.
And I used to work for my dad, for Trimurti. I mean, Trimurti is my company. I've always worked for the company.
Right.
And I felt very kind of uh, like low, and creatively I felt very devoid of my thoughts were, if I make a film now,
Ah.
uh, I won't do good work because my creative instincts are not with me,
Mm.
and I'm not there with it.
Right.
So that kind of a thing, I said I'll lose money, I might end up making a bad film, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So it was like I said, okay, I've done my work, bye bye. It's like, okay. Then in 2015, 16, I kind of got bored and I came back to India. I gave up my traveling. I was living here, and then it suddenly the thought came. Now I'm pretty old, so should I work? So I
Yeah.
said, when you get old, you get tired. Your body starts aching.
Uh-huh.
You get up in the morning, though, when you get eyes open, you think you're still 18, but when you walk out of bed, you realize, oh, I'm not that young anymore,
Right.
and there's a age factor there.
Yeah.
And so I, I try to take care of my health. And as you get older, it's very important to be on your feet
Mm. Mm.
when you're old, because
Mm.
if you don't exercise or you're not on your feet, your blood is not circulating,
Mm.
and you're kind of lazy and sitting around, you're going to fall more ill.
Mm. Mm.
So I said, now what do I do? I said, now if I make a film, I'll be on my feet, I'll be mentally alert,
Right.
I'll be physically alert,
Mm.
and also I'll have some kind of boredom will go away. I don't have many friends, so I thought this will be a good way to keep my mind busy. It's very important to keep your mind busy.
Right.
So all these thoughts came in, and I started
Yeah.
re-scripting. I had 7, 8 ideas,
Uh-huh.
and I thought, which is the idea where it is the kind of easiest for me, not physically to do and
Right.
not mentally, but easiest for me monetarily.
Yeah.
And I said, this film Zora is a murder mystery. It won't cost me that much money. So I won't put myself at risk
Yeah.
because I don't have that many people around me. I don't go to corporations for partnerships. So I don't go to big producers to collaborate.
Right.
So this film is not a collaboration. It's just a film. I've just done it on my own, and I wanted to work for myself.
Right.
So I said it's better I don't take a huge risk. So the
Mm. Mm.
market, all kinds of big films come out every week. You see, there is
Mm.
a huge film coming out every week, and they
Yes.
do well. most of the films, I think the Hindi films industry is not, in my opinion, not performing as well as it should.
Hmm.
And the film because of the budget, the films aren't doing well.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so I realized the key factor
Uh,
in any film is the budget. Key factor. If you want a successful film, is no longer have you made a good film or a bad film. It is like, have you made a film that finally covered its cost and you made some money. If
right.
you say, oh, wow, I put in so much, I got so much, people say that's a successful film. So how do you gauge or rate success? Through the
Hmm.
box office window against the budget.
Right.
So then I said the Zora subject is very interesting for me because it's will keep me creatively there. I'll be on my feet. It's my genre.
Right.
There's not that much action. There isn't that much music either, and so I felt this might be a good idea. So I developed it in 2 3 years, but then the pandemic came. So when the
Right.
pandemic came, I got into the. I started. I said I need to keep the writing going. I couldn't write anymore. Then, so one morning I got a thought. Okay, if I continue this story which has ended and make
Uh,
a second part,
uh,
at least I've written it. So
yeah.
I wrote it, and during the pandemic, I wrote Zoravar,
Yeah.
and and actually, ironically, when I went to shoot, I shot both of them.
Wikipedia has this Zoravar. I was kind of intrigued.
Yeah, so first film that's coming out on 8th August is
Yeah.
Zora, and that's releasing today is Monday, so it's releasing on today is Saturday, sorry, and it's releasing
In another
on
6 days. Yeah.
yeah, and next year I think in January I will 1st of Jan or 2nd of Jan I'll put Zoravar. It's not called Zoravar, it's called Zoravar.
Zoravar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
because it's the part two of the first film.
Oh, that's great to
So,
know that.
yeah, and I shot it without a day's gap.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and my editing and background music of the second one is done. It's only the censoring is left.
I see, sir. Okay.
So
Great.
I'm kind of I worked because it's a small budget film. I had to work very hard on the editing.
Hmm. Hmm.
I had to kind of make sure that it's a watchable film at low budget because it can turn out to be people might get disappointed or criticize me that it's not your style, it doesn't look like your film. But that's okay. This is what the subject demands. This is how I see it, and I've executed. So this is
Right.
the way I imagined this film to be. That's the way it is. Zora, this is a different film. It has a 2 crore budget. The whole landing cost is 5 crore,
Okay.
and I tried to shoot it under two. And that was my challenge
Hmm.
with five cameras, with a new star cast, and a subject that would accommodate that budget.
Hmm.
So I'm actually very, very uh, happy with this film because it's a film where I didn't think this was possible
Okay.
to do it in this price.
Okay.
You getting my point?
Yeah. Right.
So
As in two
this
crore, 5 crore kind of thing.
was a thought in my head.
Hmm.
And I said, is it possible? So Rashid Rangrez, my right hand man, said, we can do it in 50 lakhs. I said, no, no, no. He'll look very cheap. But he said, no, it won't. You can try. But you have to work backwards from the budget. So
Hmm.
once you decide the budget, then you don't compromise.
Okay.
You still make the film you want to.
Right.
So that doesn't mean I made a bad film just because it's shot in 2 crores.
Right.
So that was my USP of that film. Take new people, do it start to finish, go to one location, don't make sets, don't put songs. That's how you cut the budget. And the
Right.
subject didn't require songs. It's got background music. It's got Viju Shah and one song.
Yeah.
So I
The
had
music
to
is also
we had to
catchy. Yeah.
plan the planning took 1 year.
Right. Right.
And my father always used to tell me, don't make a budget. And this is the first time in my life I made a budget.
Okay. Oh, he never
So
told
I've
that.
never worked on a budget.
So while you were writing Zora or something, you did not think about taking those people whom you had worked, and of course they turn into
So the
like the
Zora is
commercial propositions changed after your films.
Zora, I wanted to make a film with all newcomers.
Okay, that
And
was second film, right?
I wanted to make a film
Hmm.
with a fresh star cast. I wanted the film to look different.
Okay,
I didn't want it. I just wanted it to be have a different the viewer to have a different experience rather than
Right.
seeing the faces I'm working with. So that was a very deliberate attempt, this Zora.
Right.
So it's not that I'm going to do this all my life, but in this film, I just wanted film to look like a film like I've never done before, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
if I take the same faces, sometimes I'm reflecting to my past work.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And also because the budget was so minuscule
Hmm.
that I felt I should not underpay my friends or get
Yeah.
actors and take advantage, you know. So I let it go.
Okay.
Yeah, with the thing. So you will not see in Zora and Zoravar, you don't. And the whole idea was for the film for people to see. You will not recognize anybody from Bollywood.
Yeah.
They're actors, so they
Yeah.
worked in some serial or regional films, or they've done some modeling or whatever. But they haven't. They've not been. They haven't done
Exposed to.
much work in Bollywood. They may have, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about it. So when you see the star cast,
Ah.
it's going to look very very like where they got these guys from, because I've been saying I got them from all over India, which I did.
Yeah.
So that was my challenge in the
Hmm.
film.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. And I wanted to know one more thing about you. All your films are had released during the monsoon, except Vishwatma. What is the connection? As in, I'm not sure, sir, but
No,
Vijay
I
had
think
told
look, Yudh did released in May.
which one?
Yudh, Yudh.
Youth, the first one, 1985,
Yeah, Vishwatma released in
February,
January.
January, February. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So I would say three, four of my films. Uh, Tridev was July, Mohra
There,
was
July.
July, uh,
Which, then Mohra was first July.
July,
Tridev
Gupt
7th
was
July.
July, and then
Gupt
maybe
also July.
Pyar Ishq Aur Mohabbat, I can't
August.
remember. Asambhav
Sir,
was
13th,
July.
13th August.
Yeah,
That was my
I
first
used to,
film in Hyderabad.
I used to put films around my mother's birthday, which is
Yeah,
6th of July. Yeah. So
yeah.
I just like that. It was just one of those things. I felt if I put it on that date, my mother's birthday is lucky for me. There was no real reason.
That's so sweet of you, sir.
There's no reason. Just it was just my mother's
Vijuji,
birthday, and that was enough.
Vijuji has told me probably something to do with his mother's birthday. He had told me that. Now I recollect.
Yeah.
My last question. Going down the line, how do you want Zora to be remembered as?
So Zora, I wanted to be remembered as the budget. That I made the smallest budget film in the history of Bollywood, and it should come down in the Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually wanted to come down. When
From
you
your
see
norms, your traditional
when you
norms.
see how big the film looks, you
Yeah.
will say this is not a 2 crore film.
Uh,
You understand? But it
right.
is.
Right.
So I want the Guinness Book of Records to consider me and put my name there. That here's a director who makes a film in 500 crores, and he's gone
You
and
also make a
done
film
a
in
film.
2 crores.
Yeah, I would. My old films, if you do them today, they'll cost me 400, 500.
Of course. No
Yeah.
doubt about that.
So, but I went the opposite way. So I wanted to be remembered as a suspense film, as a murder mystery, as a unique film for its
Yeah.
story, for its content, for its background music. I wanted to be remembered as an experiment that I did, a challenge I took.
Right.
So there are these 4, 5 factors that I have never done. You're getting my point.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel the audience should be receptive to it. They should accept it. And I'm okay with criticism. I have no problem with that. But I wanted to be remembered as something I tried different.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. It was lovely talking to you, sir. And
Yeah.
you can't imagine many of the times I could feel my goosebumps because I was
No,
remembering it was all flashing before my eyes. Those films.
no.
Rajiv
I'm
Rai.
very grateful. I'm grateful to you and your channel, Cineblue. And thank you for taking my interview.